Hello, you're listening to Metal Verbalizers and I am Johan. Today I will verbalize the band Vintersea. Vintersea is a kind of difficult band to pinpoint a certain genre, but they're using a lot of symphonic elements as well as atmospheric elements and kind of melodic elements in a sort of kind of death metal way with growl, etc. However, the band is from Portland, USA, and was founded in 2014, then under the name Asterion. However, they changed the name to Vintersea in 2016. I usually have some trouble with bands, to be honest, that kind of mix clean vocals with a more like type growl. But I believe that Vintersea is one of the very few bands that I've heard that managed to do this very, very well. It's kind of like they're not overdoing any of them. And I think that have a really good mix, and they managed to kind of use that mix to make their sound appear as very interesting. So a lot of the times when bands do this, they can kind of appear as kind of try hard and almost cliche in a kind of cheesy manner. But Vintersea absolutely managed to do this very, very successfully, in my opinion. So basically, it's like if you usually like kind of bands that have this sort of mix, you will probably love Vintersea. And I mean, if you don't usually like it, you should absolutely give Vintersea a chance anyway. Because, again, I'm kind of a living example of that, I believe. That I usually don't like that, but I think Vintersea is a great, great band. So in 2014, Vintersea, then called Asterion, released an EP titled Constellations. And it took until early 2017 until Vintersea released their debut full-length titled The Gravity of Fall. In 2019, the band released the single Illuminated before releasing the second full-length, also titled Illuminated, the same year. And I think that it's very prominent in this album specifically, the kind of thing with us I've said that they're kind of taking a lot of influences from a lot of different places. So if you would, for example, take an example, I believe it's the two last songs on the album, which is Fiery Tongues and Befallen. Fiery Tongues has definitely, especially in the kind of like intro and all of that, has a much more like atmospheric style to it, whereby the next song, Befallen, goes into a much, much darker, extremer, more growl-focused sound and approach, which I think that in itself really shows kind of how they really kind of play around with a lot of influences and styles in their sound, and not only in their sound, but also kind of like the different songs and how they work together on an album, which I think is really cool, and something that makes, at least to me, for example, when I listen to a Vintersea album, to really like kind of stay interested, you know, and you kind of never really know what is gonna happen next on a Vintersea album, because they always like kind of put in these interesting parts there that really like surprise you and keeps you interested and focused on the music. I think that Vintersea is a band that have kind of mainly focused on full lengths in general, and I mean an exception to that would kind of be the EP they released very early on as Asterion. But I mean, it was kind of like before Vintersea became a thing, so it kind of doesn't really count towards that in this kind of scenario. But also the kind of single for Illuminated is kind of same thing there. It doesn't really count since it's more of a I see it as more of a like kind of teaser for that full length. rather than like a standalone thing. Because I'm sure that you know that some bands sometimes release singles as kind of a standalone thing. It's not tied to any other releases by the band. But in this case, for example, with Illuminated and Vintersea, it's more of a teaser towards the coming full length with the same title. So, I mean, in general, I would say that Vintersea is a band that, at least so far, have mainly focused on, releasing full lengths. And I think that this is a very good thing and very cool because, in my opinion, this kind of implies that Vintersea is a band that really spend a lot of time and effort on their music before releasing it. And I mean, I believe that this is very commendable because it kind of shows that Vintersea doesn't mess around, you know? It's like when they release things, they really mean it, you know? And that's the kind of like feeling I get from this, is that like when you kind of like focus, for example, on full lengths in that way, it kind of, to me, it implies that when you release things, you really mean it. And I think it's kind of the same thing when it takes a few years between certain records for some bands. I think it's kind of like the kind of same implication there, that like they don't release things just for the sake of releasing it and to kind of get releases and albums out there and music out there. Like when they release things, they really mean it. So I think that's really cool, and something that Vintersea does very, very well as well. And I mean, as I kind of like mentioned a little bit before, is that in general, Vintersea has a very unique sound, in my opinion, and you can definitely notice a lot of influences kind of from all over the place in music, and so that kind of makes it very, very difficult to kind of pinpoint them to a certain genre or to kind of like compare them to other bands, because I don't really think that Vintersea, like spontaneously, I can't really think of any band that really sounds like Vintersea in that way. So, and I mean, that in itself, I think, is a very, very big like sign that Vintersea is doing something very good. They're really adding something to the music and to the scene, because you can't really compare them. They kind of stand for themselves, you know. And I think that Vintersea is a very good example of a band, at least in my experience, that I think would be very, very successful if more people knew about them, because I think that there's a very few times that I kind of hear Vintersea being mentioned, and I kind of think like, okay, I mean, Vintersea has the potential to become very well known and successful if people actually knew about them, which, I mean, is kind of the reason why we decided to do this episode on our podcast, to hopefully kind of spread the name of Vintersea out there, because as I said, Vintersea is definitely a band that we definitely believe in and could become something very, very good. Vintersea announced in late March this year, in 2022, that they are going into the studio in order to record their third full-length album. However, they have not confirmed yet or announced when it will be released, or when new information comes regarding the upcoming release. So I guess we will just see what will kind of happen with that, and I will definitely keep my eyes and ears open for that when they announce that, and I suggest that you do the same. But I guess with that, I believe it's kind of time to wrap things up now, and I appreciate you listening, and if you like this episode, make sure to follow Metal Verbalizers and we will give you more tips like this. And if this episode results in you checking out this band, then please tag us and let them know that we sent you to them. We would appreciate it a lot. And we will be back to you soon with another verbalization.